What's up, guys? Biker Dave here. 2017 Dodge Durango RT with the Hemi 5.7. This will apply to a ton of different Durango RTs, probably from 2011 on up. If you're doing an oil change, first thing you need to get the vehicle off the ground as far as the front. I just did a previous video on how to do this easier, as far as, you know, if you're inside a garage that has a very smooth concrete floor and you try to use these rhino ramps, which I'm a big fan of. I've been using these for many years. But on a smooth floor, when you try to drive up on the ramps, sometimes these will slide forward. So put you a couple of towels underneath the ramps and it'll drive up on there much easier. Make sure you do it carefully, slowly, all that sort of thing. But very easy. The oil drain plug, looking from the front of the car here, underneath. See this little cubby area? That little drain plug is a 13mm drain plug right up there. Break that guy loose, put you a drain pan underneath. They've made it pretty easy to get to, and the oil filter is easy to get to also. We'll show you that in just a second. You might want to use some nitrile gloves or some mechanics gloves, because you could get a little messy. Depends on your vehicle though. All right, looking from underneath here, it's right up there. There's the drain plug, and then the filter is that big white guy right there. I'll put a link down below where you can get the filter. Recommend Dodge OEM filters. You can actually get those at Walmart for a reasonable price. And the oil itself, okay, and it even tells you on the filler cap, 5W20. Usually synthetic oil is recommended for this vehicle. Pennzoil is what I use, but everyone has their own opinion on engine oils, so whatever you like, doesn't matter. Some things that are good to do, especially on an engine that's getting older, if you're over 75,000 miles, you can do an engine flush. Follow the directions on it. It helps clean out sludge and that sort of thing. Also, Marvel Mystery Oil. These are good products to use to keep the inside of your crankcase clean. And, everyone has opinions on that too, but I do use it every so often, and I've just had good luck with it, so that's what I do. In between oil changes, I flush it out, and I just follow the instructions on the back. But that's not the point of this video. Anyway, that's what I do though. Also, it's a good idea to drive the car around for a good 5 minutes or so to warm up the oil. That'll help it flow out easier. That's a good regular practice anytime you do an oil change on any vehicle, quite honestly. But just run it around for a few minutes and then it'll help warm it up, and then when you do drain it, it comes out much smoother and easier. And the drain plug might be a little stiff, if the previous owner or mechanic over tightened it. So you might need a little bit of a breaker bar, something with some length on it so you can get some leverage to remove it. Or you may have to tap on it, with your big hammer on your wrench, just to loosen it up some. It just depends on your situation though. All right, and of course, if you've lifted the front of your vehicle, you might want to put the drain pan on some sort of step or something so it doesn't splash all over the place. It'll get it closer to the drain plug area. So I just, I use a little step personally, but that, do that how you feel like. Alrighty, and once you've broken it loose, push inward on the drain plug, so that it doesn't just fall out of there. And when you feel it's at the last thread, be ready, because you'll see some drips coming, as you see right there. Get the drain pan ready. Don't want it to splash on you. And there it goes. Be ready. You might need another drain pan because it does require quite a bit of oil, so be ready for a second drain pan. And just let that keep draining until it stops dripping. It's a good idea to wipe off that surface there where the drain plug came out. Also wipe off the drain plug threads themselves. You see here's the drain plug right here. You may want to clean off all that, you know, with a rag or something. Just wipe it off nicely. If it's looking a little worn out, boogered up, if threads are looking rough, you may need to replace the whole thing. You can get these at pretty much any main auto parts store. I'll put a link down below for the size of this guy. Okay, and if you're curious, the actual size of this is 14 millimeter by 1.5 thread pitch, and roughly 20 millimeters is the shank length, you know, from the flange all the way to the tip. Right around 20 millimeters long if you're trying to replace yours. Yeah, it is a 13 millimeter wrench, but quite honestly, that is irrelevant as far as the real size of the drain plug. 14 by 1.5. I'll put a link down below, but you can get that at pretty much any auto parts store, online, that sort of thing, but I'll put a link where you can get it on Amazon. All right, and you know, before you forget, go ahead and put the drain plug back in after you've cleaned it off. Good and firm is not the exact torque spec. I'll put the torque spec in the description, but you know, you don't want to strip it out and you don't want it to leak. So nice and firm is fine. You know, this is not the space shuttle. You'll be fine if you just make sure that there's no leaks coming out of there. And you know what I'm saying. If you're not sure at all, make sure you look through your service manual or your owner's manual, but I'll put the torque spec in there. And now we need to remove the oil filter, which is that white thing right there. And it's also going to drip out some fluid, so keep your drain pan nearby down in this cubby hole here. You may want to, you know, maybe put it like right on this ridge or something, you know, because it is going to drip some oil, so be ready for that. And you should use either a wrench for the oil filter, or you might be able to remove it by hand with rubber gloves. But you probably will need an oil filter wrench, and I'll show you what that looks like. This is a very common oil filter wrench right here. It'll attach to your, you know, to your little 3/8 drive ratchet driver, and it can tighten as you loosen it. As far as moving it this way, it'll tighten and grip around the edge of the oil filter. I'll put this link down below also, but very easy to use. And you can use these on a wide variety of sizes of filters. That's why they're very handy. All right. Oil filter, mine was actually tightened by hand. It was not over tightened, so I was able to do it. But same deal, I've got my little drain pan on my little stand so that it doesn't spill all over the place. And I still have it attached. I still have the oil filter attached up there. Can't see it, but you know, I have it loosened just a little bit so it will drip out without making a giant mess. So wait until that stops dripping and then remove the filter all the way. And then we're about ready to put the new filter on. All right, there it is. Make sure you keep it pointing in this direction, upward, so that it doesn't just come dumping out all over you, you know, while you're unscrewing it, because it will take several rotations to completely unscrew the filter. You know, leave your drip pan underneath while you're doing this so that it doesn't just spray all over the place. And then once you're done with that, clean off the surface that the filter fastens to. Take you a little bit of contact cleaner or brake cleaner and clean off inside, you know, if there's any oil that got anywhere, and make sure you clean all that up. As you see, it might make a little bit of a mess, so make sure you clean all this up when you're finished. Brake cleaner or contact cleaner or any kind of degreaser is a good thing with a rag, and just wipe up anything that, you know, if any oil got anywhere in there, just clean it all up before you finish up. Now we'll get the new filter. All right, and here is the OEM Dodge filter MO-339. You can get it at any auto parts store, even Walmart. I'll put a link down below where you can get it online, though. And what I like to do is, you know, flip the filter back upside down, and now I'm going to fill this filter with my fresh oil before I install it. So just pour in your new oil slowly until it, you know, completely fills up, or at least fills up 3/4 of the way, you know, so you don't spill any when you reinstall the filter. So, you know, half to 3/4 of the way with fresh oil is a good thing to put in the new filter. All right. And also, you know, wipe you some of that fresh oil on the seal right around there. Just use your hand for that, your finger, whatever. And you know, you notice when you pour the new oil in it that it absorbs in the media pretty quickly. So wait a couple of moments, fill it a little bit more. But I like to fill it about 3/4 of the way once it's completely absorbed into the media. And then we'll reinstall the new filter. And as a reminder, go ahead and take off the filler cap and set it off to the side. That is your reminder that you have not put new oil in it. I'm just saying, it has happened. All right, and when you're reinstalling the new filter, make sure that, you know, not only did you clean off the surface, you know, of where the filter goes, and also make sure that the filter is spinning on easily. You know, you don't want to cross thread it or mess anything up. So just, you know, take your time. Make sure that it's seems to be screwing on easily. And then hand tight is good, but, you know, good and firm on your hand tight. You don't need a wrench to tighten the filter. Just, you know, firmly is fine. And, you know, don't overthink it. It's fine. And make sure you clean everything off under here. And then we'll install the new oil and we're almost done. All right, and make sure your funnel is clean. You know, make sure you wipe it off with your rag. And then slowly pour your new oil in. If the vehicle is older, like over 75,000 miles, you might want to put you a little bit of mystery oil. You know, just a half a quart or so while you're filling in, because it does help keep the internals of the engine clean. That's up to you though, but I do use Marvel mystery oil in my, you know, in every oil change. And just in case you're wondering, it requires 7 quarts, 7 US quarts of your 5W20. So that's all you'll need. And if you're using an additive like I do, Marvel mystery oil or whatever, you know, sort of additives you like to use, oil enhancers, just put 6 to 6.5 quarts of your oil and then add your additive right there at the end. And then it's a good idea to clean off your filler cap. You know, just wipe that off with your rag. Make sure it doesn't look crappy or banged up or torn up or anything. If it doesn't seal properly, then you can replace it. But you just give it a quick look over before you reinstall it. And if you're looking at your owner's manual, make sure you always keep that handy. Page 232 on my 2017 tells you all of this. For the 5.7, it's 7 quarts. For the 3.6, 6 quarts. Gives you all your capacities and whatnot. But I don't know, many people don't look at these, which is why you're watching this video. Anyway, and now we're going to reset our oil service light. Okay, and you don't have the engine running to reset it. You just put it to the run position, you know, on your push button. Just put it to run, don't crank the car, and then hold your OK button on your left side of your steering wheel, and it will reset to 100% like you see it. Now, it's a good idea also to run the engine for just a couple of minutes. Make sure you lower it from your ramps or however you have the vehicle elevated. Then turn the engine off. Check your oil level, make sure that it looks good. You'll see it in between the 2 lines on the dipstick, very simple. And if that looks fine, then you're ready to go. If you need a little bit more, add a little bit more. I mean, don't overthink it. And clean up your tools and everything, and off you go. And yeah, mine is, I have the Diablo Sport tune on this car, which really bumps the horsepower nicely. Makes it even more fun. I also have the Mopar performance exhaust, and yeah, it makes it a heck of a lot of fun. So check out, I'll have a playlist of everything I've done to this vehicle and other little miscellaneous videos I've done. But yeah, if you're looking for a little boost in performance on this thing, definitely do the Diablo Sport tune, which you have to replace your PCM because it is locked. And put the, I mean, there's any kind of aftermarket exhaust you can install, but I did the actual Mopar OEM brand performance exhaust. A lot lighter than stock, sounds better than stock without being obnoxious, and holy crap, it really makes it fun. Anyway, that's it. Make sure you check out the playlist link that'll pop up at the end, and if our video helped you, make sure you click the thanks button that's underneath the video screen. Same with any YouTube channel that's monetized. You know, if their video helped you, throw them a bone, give them a little donation, because, you know, I mean, yeah, our videos may not be $1 million professional videos, but they are helpful to some people, hopefully. And if so, you know, throw them a little donation using the thanks button underneath the screen. And that's it. Y'all have a great day. Make sure you check out our other videos. We've got almost 2,000 videos on our channel of all kinds of stuff that might help you. And that's it. Y'all have a great day.